Hey, Jason Journeyman here, online outdoor school. Today we're gonna go on a hike in the neighborhood. Even with our stay-at-home rules, we're allowed to hike around our immediate neighborhood, and there's so much cool nature to see out there. We're just gonna make sure that we're staying 6 feet away from each other. I'm gonna wear my mask whenever I'm not talking. I've got some hand sanitizer handy and some gloves just in case. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna forage for food. So we're gonna look for not the typical things you think of with food, like maybe an orange tree or tomato. We're gonna look for plants that are in people's yards that are edible, and also weeds that are totally edible. So let's go have a snack. Come on. Ooh, this is rosemary. Rosemary is something that we cook with a lot in our kitchens. It grows in people's yards and it grows pretty wild. It's hanging down this wall like that. It tastes pretty basic, maybe like a little bit like a citrus fruit. This flavor comes on a little later though, and that's because of the oils in the rosemary, and that's why we cook with it. It releases those oils. It gives that soup or that saute dish all that extra flavor, and it's pretty delicious. Ooh, society garlic. This is garlic just like the stuff you use in the kitchen. It's related to onions and chives that you also use in the kitchen. The difference though is that this society garlic stays green and beautiful, and the vegetables, the leaves turn brown as it ripens. So this nice fancy society garlic tastes like garlic, and it has these beautiful flowers too. Okay, now as we move on, I'm gonna use hand sanitizer between each plant just to make sure I'm not accidentally spreading anything around and keeping everybody safe. All right. So this plant is called Fujiwa. It's from South America, and it's in the guava family. It's known as the pineapple guava. And the fruit comes in the fall. Right now we have the flowers, but the flowers are still delicious. These little petals here, these white petals, they have the consistency of marshmallow, but they kind of taste like pineapple. So a pineapple marshmallow. Yum. This is prickly lettuce. See all the spikes right along here? That's how it gets its name, prickly lettuce. Now, it's also a kind of lettuce, but the lettuce we get at the grocery store does not have those spikes. So we found a prickly lettuce one day that didn't have the spikes, and we kept growing that same one over and over again until it got us the kind of lettuce that we can eat that's more palatable. And this is a form of evolution. It's not natural selection like Darwin talked about. It's an unnatural selection because we selected it. And it's kind of similar to how we have dogs today. Dogs all came from the wolf, and then we selected them in all these different ways to get all the cool different breeds of dogs we have now. So this plant right here, this is a plant that looks kind of like maybe some of the things we've eaten. We ate a little bit of a flower petal, we've eaten some leaves, but this is a plant that you should definitely not eat. It's called silverleaf nightshade, and some nightshades are edible, some are not. This one is poisonous. You don't want to eat it. So this is a good time to remind you, only eat the plants that I say are safe to eat, that I show you in this video are safe to eat. Don't eat anything else, because you never really know. So just stay safe and only eat these particular plants. I want to drive that home, all right? Ooh, right here, we have wood sorrel. It has these beautiful yellow flowers. Sometimes they're white, sometimes they're purple. It's basically like a clover. Like we have for St. Patrick's Day, we're looking for 4-leaf clovers, good luck. And this is totally edible. The one thing though is that this grows a lot of times on grass. And so people who are looking to kill weeds might spray these. So if you're gonna eat something like this, make sure you know that it's in an area that's a little wild and it's not getting any poison sprayed on it. And also, we're right here on the side of the street where dogs are walking by. So it's possible that this has a little dog pee on it. And so maybe we don't wanna eat this. We'll just put that back. Oh, but right here, we have another thing that's pretty cool. This is fennel. Just like the fennel you cook with from the grocery store. In fact, people used to grow it in their gardens and the seeds would blow out into the neighborhood and it started growing wild all over Southern California. It's the same fennel that you cook with. It smells like licorice, black licorice. Tastes like it too. If you're into that sort of thing, you like licorice, here we have fennel. All right. Right here we have nasturtium. These big leaves that kind of look like lily pads. These are part of the watercress family. It's like a lettuce. You could take some of this home, put it with some salad dressing, have a delicious salad. And the flowers are totally edible too. You can look at a flower right here. Look how pretty they are. If you go to the farmer's market, often this time of year, and get a bag of greens, just fresh greens for making a salad, they'll put the flower petals in the bag of greens. And they're a little sweet. They're pretty delicious. Right here, we have a dandelion. This is a sow thistle dandelion. It's actually next to prickly lettuce, which we just talked about. And they're actually both in the dandelion family. Dandelions have these little yellow flowers, kind of like this. And they have the seeds that are the white dome that you can blow and make a wish out of. But these are very edible. Dandelion greens, you might even see them sold at the store sometimes, definitely at a farmer's market. They're a little bit bitter, but these are little baby ones because they're so small, so they're totally delicious to eat. If you get the kind of the store that are bigger, you saute them like you would kale. They're very similar to kale or chard or any of those thicker leafy greens that you cook. So yum. So this is one of my favorite plants around here. This is a Southern California black walnut. Look at the little baby walnuts. So cute. They come from these flowers right here, these long strands of flowers. And this is a walnut, just like you know walnuts. Walnuts grow all around the world. There's hundreds of different varieties, and ancient people, native people to this area, have used walnuts for millennia. They use it for breads, for cereals, or just for a snack, just like we do. And next fall, you end up with a walnut seed, kind of like this. I have a little half a walnut seed here. And it's just like the nut that we eat. They still use it. We use it today. And we're not so different from them, right? What we have here is mustard. We have a whole nice field of it here. And yes, it's that kind of mustard, the kind that you put on your sandwich. Now this is not native to Southern California here. It's considered an invasive plant, and that means it pushes out other plants. It takes away their land and their space, which isn't a great thing, but it's totally edible. You can eat these yellow parts right here. Tastes kind of like a mild yellow mustard. You can also eat the leaves. And now this is like the spicy Dijon kind of mustard. So if you're into that kind of sandwich, go ahead and eat that too. So here's an activity for you. Go walk around your neighborhood, find the plants I just showed you, and then take a picture, and then write it down in the notebook, what you found, what you ate, and what it tasted like. Describe it. Take a picture, write it down in the notebook, what you found, what you ate, and what it tasted like. I hope you enjoyed exploring my edible neighborhood. The next step is for you to go explore yours. Look for these plants that I just showed you about. Have a little snack. Make sure you're being safe and you're keeping social distances, and never, never, never eat anything that I didn't show you. Otherwise, have fun and enjoy the free lunch.